happened? More popcorn.
Waka waka, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Shut Up and Refill My Popcorn, the triumphant post episode 100 marathon that we're going through. This is going to be episode 105. And as you can tell, I'm joined by any special guest, returning friend of the show, Mr. CJ Emmanuel. What's up, man? How are you doing?
Hey, man, Micho, what's going on, brother? And congratulations on episode 100 plus.
Thank you. Thank you. We're going to talk about a sequel. Now, this franchise has 4 installments, 2 of which are direct to TV movies. And I have dabbled with some franchises like that. Perfect example was, oh man, Christmas Vacation Part 2. But I mean, I don't know. What do you consider TV movies to be part of a franchise, or just kind of like something like off to the side? Because sometimes they are canon, especially in this franchise. And let the people know what movie franchise we're diving into.
All right, so the first time we covered a cult classic from my childhood, the original, and none of the sequels can even come close to do justice, and that's Revenge of the Nerds. And so we're reviewing Revenge of the Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise. It came out in 92. Almost no, I'm sorry, my bad. Revenge of the Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise came out in 87. My bad. I was looking at the 90. I was looking at 3 and 4. So yeah, 84 was the original, 87 was part 2, summer of 87.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, for those of y'all who want to check out that episode that me and CJ did, that's going to be on the Extra Butter feed, and I already pretty sure I put it up there on YouTube also. So go ahead, like, subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts, on both the main show and the Extra Butter show, or the podcast feed. But yeah, let's get into it, man. 87, the year of what is it? It's probably something. That was the year I was born, so it's probably something dumb like the year of the cow or the year of the giraffe. You know, nothing.
I was
cool
74,
like,
so I'm a tiger. You talk about the Chinese count,
yeah.
Chinese zodiac. I'm a tiger, and I'm a tiger, and I'm a Leo. My birthday was just this past August 14th.
Oh man, hell yeah! Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. 49, bro.
Really? You don't even look that old, for real.
It's sexy as hell on the outside. On the inside, not so much. You know?
Man, I look like I'm older than I really am. People say I'm like 45. I'm like, I'm barely 36. What the hell? But so yeah,
it came out 87. So I remember this movie when it came out. So the first time I would have seen it probably would have been when it hit cable in like that spring or summer of 88 or whatever. And I was going in. This is like the summer. It came out like the summer going into my 8th grade year. So yeah. And even then, when I saw the trailer, and I'm like, PG-13. Oh, this is gonna be whack, bro. I'm not gonna watch this bullshit. But so I ended up seeing it probably like on HBO or Cinemax, whatever, movie channel, whatever it was back in the day. So that was my original recollection of that franchise. And that was probably, I wouldn't be surprised that was the last time, other than just watching it to review this show, right? For this show, I didn't say it, but we'll get into, you know, it's not as
memorable.
I mean, it's not as memorable. It's just, you know, what's the emoji that just has the line in the face? It's just like that, you know,
like that emoji, kind of like just like,
yeah, straight face joint, you know.
Yeah.
There were a couple of jokes in there that were kind of like that, you know. I did like the cameo of Mr. Peter, was it Peter Hong as
oh yeah.
You know, that was a nice little treat, you know.
Belt? What do you call snot? Something like that, right? Like,
yeah,
he was like a Master Splinter type of character. He's still alive, right? He's been in a bunch of stuff. Like, too many, like, from off the top of my head, I can think of Big Trouble in Little China,
Bro,
Balls of Fury.
I think he was in Drunken Master, bro. I did a review on another, you know, Remember the original Drunken Master, young Jackie Chan.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That go out of your way and check that shit out. It might still be on YouTube. The
Okay.
sequel, if you're talking about shitty sequels, the sequel doesn't come close to the classic, man. I mean, you got to kind of. I mean, that one came out in like '74, whatever. So
Oh
um,
shit.
so the choreography, the story is very simple, but it's a very, very good. And you see a young Jackie Chan's charisma and his comedic timing. That was like the biggest thing that jumped out at such a young age. He had those comedic chops, in addition to the incredible athleticism and choreography in the fight scenes. But anyway, we ain't talking about that. We talk about nerds and shit like that. My bad,
Nah, you're good. You're good.
It's some real shit, bro.
So off the top of my head, for whatever reason, I thought the Gilbert character. I didn't remember him when I first saw the movie. I didn't remember him being in the sequel as much as the original. Like he was in there, and I mean, do you think his absence hurt the film or helped the film because there's one less quote unquote nerd?
Well, I was reading on I was kind of reading up on the synopsis of the movie and critic reviews and shit like that. So that was one of the questions that I had writing down. I'm like, broken leg, that's bullshit. Okay, why didn't he want to be in this movie and shit? Why is he just kind of doing a cameo that? And he said
And it wasn't like
the
just
script.
one and done.
He
Yeah.
hated the script. He's like, this script sucks, man. I don't want to be a part of this bullshit. So he said, the only way I'll do this, I'm gonna shoot all my scenes in one location in one, like they shot like in 2-3 days. I think this was like, and I think time like I don't think he'd even got onto ER yet. If he did, ER had just gotten started, but he wasn't even like Anthony Edwards, super TV star yet.
I don't think ER was on until like the mid '90s. I wanted like
early
95,
90s. Yeah, so this
maybe
was
'94.
Yeah,
Because
so that was
yeah,
a glaring absence, and Ted McGinley as Stan Gable was not in there,
yeah,
and that was Betty Childs and stuff, bro.
yeah. But that was the other thing that got me is like Ogre's in this film, but you would think, okay, so all the alpha betas, these aren't the same alpha betas from Adams College. They're obviously from a different college, probably from the one there in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, this is still supposed to be. Well, yeah, that's a good question. No, I think because Ogre's there. Maybe Ogre was representing Adams College. No, because I think those were Adams College.
I think each college sent their fraternity president or whatever.
Maybe because there were some other black trilambs that were in there. So maybe,
yeah, which was kind of fucked up because they didn't have their back. I mean, they're supposed to be the fraternity brothers, and
you had Jefferson. You had Jefferson didn't smarten them up at all, bro.
And he's like, they're like,
"God, Negroes are your own."
Yeah,
yeah, feel.
Yeah, but I mean, I get why they put Ogre in this movie because they need that one memorable jock to be like, oh, nerds. And then we see here at the end of the movie, he's now befriended the nerds because these alpha betas kicked him off the boat. But we'll get there. We'll get there in a little bit. So the chick in this film, Summer, I seen her in some things. I think she was in
yeah, man,
a sitcom with Jim John, was it Jim? Yeah, Jim Belushi's. What the fuck was the show? According to Jim, something like that.
Yeah, she was the wife on According to Jim. Yeah, that was one of her, if not her first major role, it was one of the early ones, man.
And it was cool that she wasn't like a bitch at the beginning. Like she was actually like she was being treated like shit by the fucking general manager or the acting manager. That dude was just a fucking piece of shit. I mean, he canceled the nerds' reservation because they're nerds.
Yeah. Talk about the hotel, the acting hotel manager dude or whatever. I forgot his real name and stuff. I was trying to look him up and see what other movies he had been in.
Oh yeah, he's been in some things. Oh, top of my head, what did I see him on? Oh man, I can't even think of it. I have to pull up the Wikipedia. But yeah, he's been in some things too. What was the other thing that really like there's just a pops Booger. You see how his bag when he packs his bag, he just loads it up with condoms. Like this dude is getting pussy left.
Oh yeah. He's that one kind of made me chuckle in the beginning. You talk about the opening credits when
like he took a pair of socks out. Yeah, he took a pair of socks or whatever, and to make more room for the potential sex he was going to be having in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
which is like he's probably just he's not even getting pussy. He probably just using up till he doesn't get booger semen all over the walls. But I mean, he's booger, so I guess he wouldn't give a fuck. He blows his nose on his hand and his shirt.
See, so who else was glaringly missing? So, Anthony Edwards was missing. Betty Childs. So with Betty Childs, there was supposed to be a scene early in the movie where Gilbert caught her sleeping with another alpha beta or whatever, and she said she has to cut that out because at the end of Nerd, she fell in love with Gilbert, so she felt that that would have been conflict to her character and stuff. So that's because she was in part 3. I do kind of remember that, and she was down for Gilbert. She was like nerd love back then. So I noticed there was like a small little flash of her picture, or whatever, in the beginning montage. Hold on, let me let Pippin in.
Yeah. Was it Gilbert or what was the other? Gilbert was the one. Who was the one that was hurt?
That was Gilbert. Did I say Gilbert? I meant to say Lewis. I meant to say Lewis.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Gilbert was Anthony Edwards. Yeah, and Lewis was Robert Carradine. Yes.
So, yeah, but then if you think about it, in this movie, so he has Betty Childs. Lewis has Betty Childs back home, but he still gets with Summer.
I know. But if you smash cut to part 3, Lewis is and Mary Jane. Lewis and Betty
married to her.
And, about to have kids and shit, some goofy shit like that.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I thought that was kind of weird to kind of force her. I guess Lewis had to get some tail. I mean, spring break, college. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I figured
that would have made more sense.
I figured he would have been like a good dude and throw some of that pussy. The new nerd Stewart. The one that was working at the hotel.
Oh yeah, Barry Sobel, man. See that I remember when that guy was like a up and coming comedian and shit, and got like Eddie Murphy co-signed and shit, man. So I kind of popped when I saw that dude. I was like, oh shit, I remember him, man. He was supposed to be like another. He was supposed to blow up, man. He had like his little bit of like rise, and then I don't know now. But I said, oh shit,
he
I remember
could
that
rhyme
dude.
though. He was freestyle or he was rapping like Beastie Boy style.
I'm talking about the white dude, man, Stewart. Not you talking about. Oh yeah, you're right. In the rap scene,
it was
Stewart.
Lamar.
Yeah. That was like the best part of the movie, man. I was like, oh shit, Lamar kind of got bars and shit.
Oh yeah.
And he actually knew who he actually wrote those lyrics and stuff, or you know what I'm saying?
Who, Lamar or Stewart?
Yeah. No, Lamar.
Little old me, Lamar.
Right at in the credits, bro. I was like, oh shit, he wrote them shits. Go ahead, man.
I mean, was it kind of weird that
it was 87-ish,
Yeah, was it weird that they kind of went back to the Will in a sort of way, that they went and did their little like stage performance, like, oh, he's rapping.
They had to do all the greatest hits, bro. They were doing all the greatest hits.
It was kind of early.
Cliche as hell. Yeah.
You were talking about who wasn't in this film. The Asian Japanese guy
who plays Akashi. Yeah.
He's actually the actor who played him actually played Leonardo in one of the Ninja Turtle movies. I want to say the first one.
All right, because he's in 3 and 4. So all right. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and then he's in Police Academy too.
Was he?
In one of the Police Academies, I can't remember which one, but I know that's one of his film credits.
Me and my wife went, because that's one of her favorite. That's the first time I went through the whole Death March all the way down to the last one and shit. that was brutal. Oh god, that was brutal.
Yeah, I think I covered the Moscow one. I think it was like 7 or 8,
6 or 7 or 8, one of the last ones, if not the last one. But
hey,
I don't remember him in that one, man. But
what's her name? Oh, Callahan. She can put me in a headlock all day.
Yeah, she had them takeovers back in the day.
So they go to Fort Lauderdale. They can't get a room. They end up staying in like this rundown Roach Motel, like ghetto as fuck. Like even the
hotel Coral Essex.
Yeah, when they do their performance, they cut the E off, and it just said, or all a bunch of letters. It's just hot oral sex.
Yeah.
The guy, the alpha beta, I guess president or spokesman.
Canal esSEX, because it was like hot anal sex. Yeah, it was like
hot coral esSEX or something like that.
Oh yeah, when they break that, it made it look like a hot anal sex.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like. Yeah.
He's a pretty recognizable guy. If people are out there fans of Billy Madison from what 90, 94, 95.
Who are you talking about?
He played Carl. No, he didn't play Carl. He played the bad guy in Billy Madison, the alpha beta. Oh, what was his
Oh,
name?
the main. Oh, what was his name?
The one that kind of
Roger,
replaced.
guy who played
Yeah,
Roger, whatever his name was.
Roger. Yeah, he was kind of like that. Hey guys, like being their friend and cool, and you knew what was up. It was just like fake. He was being so fake in the beginning, and there's dumbass Lewis. He's like, you know what, Roger, could you introduce me to the manager? I was like, I can't do that. He's like literally sitting behind him. He could just be like, hey, excuse me, sir. Like
Yeah,
you don't
you
need to
nailed
be
it, bro. You had it.
introduced.
1995. Bradley
That
Whitford.
oh, it's Randy. Randy. Yeah, he looks like a Randy.
Bradley Whitford. Yeah, yeah, you nailed it. 85 is who he's Billy. I mean, 95. He was in. Oh, he was in Handmaid's Tale and all that shit.
Yeah, he's
I'm
been in some
you
stuff
off your,
too.
I just took you off your train of thought like a motherfucker, didn't I? I'm sorry, man.
You're good. You're good. But yeah, so like the whole Lewis is oblivious to the world, thinking that oh, they treat me like a normal person. Like no, they're shitting on you because you're a nerd.
Yeah.
And we talked about the last time, being a nerd nowadays ain't really like a scarlet letter or anything. Like
I told you in the original, they predicted that nerd culture was going
yeah,
to take over. They said it in the movie, and it happened in the
yeah.
movie and in real life. You know,
And I mean,
this one was
you're like, oh,
pathetic. The
it's
second
like
one was pathetic. Nothing.
but yeah, I mean, but this I think this movie takes place a year after the first film, which is kind of impressive for oh what's his name the boy the young kid in the first movie.
Yeah, Wormser, but that was a different.
Wormser.
No, this was
It's the
wait.
same
This was
guy.
the same Wormser in the
Yeah,
sequel. He did the first two, and then he didn't do the three and four. Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
But
Uh,
timeline wise, it was supposed to be 1 year later, but real time wise, it was like
like 3 or
3 years.
4. Yeah,
I remember it was noticeably different. When as a kid, I remember like this nigga's voice was squeaking in the first movie and shit. Now he sounds like this, you know.
yeah. Like a little night a bowl cut. Now he's got
Yeah.
like a little redheaded bowl cut. Now he's all dark haired and
They probably should have replaced him with like if he was like I don't know 10 in the first one, they should have had like an 11-year-old in the
yeah.
next one, kind of like him. Anyway, that's picking nits on a terrible movie, so it doesn't matter. But I was reading also. I mean, as bad as the movie was, it turned a profit. It had a budget of like 10 million and it made 30, bro. So
I
that's
think,
considered a
man.
success.
Yeah, a
Success.
success. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, their budget. I mean, it's not like they were doing a sci-fi movie where they had to use like some kind of like special effects.
Uh,
But
Film that
but yeah,
in
so
some dumb.
oh man, what was I gonna talk about? Oh, so they had this college fraternity convention.
Right.
They get they finally get accepted into the meeting, but they have to sit on the floor. Then just to fuck with them, they're gonna bring up this whole like, okay, you have to meet these standards. You not only have to be academically at this level, but you also have to be physically fit at the
Right.
same, like so they're looking for ways like if hey, these nerds ain't gonna be able to bench 250. That's perfect way to get them out of this convention, get them out of this deal. They end up they end up getting that rule basically thrown out of the agenda for the conference to be voted on. And so they're just trying to figure out how to get rid of these nerds. They literally have to go the way of faking friendship with them, sending some chicks to go and party with them, and oh, and I think it was Roger's car that they took. And oh,
Yeah.
thanks, Roger. You're an awesome dude. You're so nice. Thanks. And he reports it stolen, gets them thrown in jail. And at this point in the movie, I'm just applauding Lewis because his nuts finally drop, and he barks back at the potential rapist in jail that
Oh
was
yeah, when he
gonna
was in jail. Yeah.
yeah like he just fucking just like yo get out, we're not talking, leave us the fuck alone. Like he just fucking bowls up to him
Yeah, man.
and kind of scares Poindexter. Poindexter's just like but he's always kind of like, I mean, the dude's basically blind. I mean, he's talking to a cardboard cutout woman, gonna go to the pool bar to get her a drink in a suit. I mean, there's
How
some
does he
funny
not feel
moments.
himself walking in the pool though? I mean, he's up to his neck in the pool in his full 3-piece suit. How the hell he doesn't feel that shit, bro? You know, like, yeah, damn, you blinded. What's blind and numb?
Blind and numb, blind and numb, because like if you be able to feel like I don't know, it's funny, and then oh my goodness, the way Booger just goes after women, like he almost like Pepe Le Pew. I mean, almost like a serial sex offender.
He was kind of like a personification of like the suppressed horny nerd who wishes he was bold enough to get slapped in the face. At least So there's probably he's kind of like an alter ego, almost like an anti nerd. Like I don't know. I mean, I knew some guys not quite as gross as him, but that were
They didn't
that
care.
confident in their own
Yeah,
skin, right? They didn't give a shit. They didn't
they
think
got
that they were nerds, even though
slapped.
they were clearly nerds and shit,
Yeah,
But I respected cats like that, man, that were just very comfortable in their own skin.
yeah. Like they didn't care of the repercussions. They were gonna shoot
Right.
their shot regardless if whether it hit the target or missed it completely.
Right.
But
And honestly,
Booger
bro,
just left and right.
that's how you make a lot of shots by taking a lot of shots and shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Better the more you do, the more
yeah.
reps you put in. So
Yeah. So I mean, hell, by the time I think part four is when he gets married, right? Or is it three?
yeah. Yeah, I think it was 4. I think that was the last one. Nerds in Love or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah,
No,
something like
no, no,
that.
no, no. That was 3, and then 4 was the new generation or whatever. So I think it was the third
Okay.
one he got married
I know
and
one of the
college
next
kids.
two, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Hey,
getting married and stuff.
I ain't
Um
watching shits. I ain't even looking. So. You know what I'm saying?
it was hard to find this movie, man. I don't have it in my possession in DVD form or whatever. Can't go to a movie store or a rental store no more and rent it. Even if,
Right.
I mean, I might be lucky if I go to a flea market. So let me see what's on streaming. The original one's on streaming, Revenge of the Nerds 1, but this one and the three sequels, you can't find them anywhere. And
I
so
was able to I got lucky through my direct TV and found it on like the Arc on Encore's or Star, one of those channels.
yeah,
And that
stars.
still be there. So I was like, oh shit. And
Yeah.
it had commercials in it. So I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah. That was the only way I could stream it because but I don't have a like I think who like a subscription to stars on any of my Hulu or Philo or anything like that.
I only had it on my
Yeah.
old direct TV that I only watch football on and shit for the most part.
Yeah. And like I told you, I was like, I mean, it was on Amazon, but you got to rent it on
Yeah.
Amazon. And that's
Yeah.
what I did. I just coughed up the $4, popped it in, and then good thing it doesn't stay because I don't think I want to watch that shit again. I mean,
Sure, man.
I'm one and done. Stick with the original. Um, so we talked.
I'll watch one probably in a few years just as a guilty pleasure again.
Yeah,
Probably will.
I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes it pops up like on Comedy Central or something.
Yeah, something like that. But I'll only watch it if I can get the uncut version. I won't watch the commercial version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to see Betty Child's boobies. That's my pie,
Help high. Yeah.
which
I
is
sleep through
funny.
that. Just all the stuff that there's just no way they could do today's.
Oh no, I mean we talked about it that time, and
Um,
then I think I want to say Disco and Conan had talked about it.
yeah,
No,
they're making
no,
fun of us.
I'm sorry. It was a different podcast. It was on the Two Bears One Cave podcast with Bert and Tom. They were talking about Revenge of the Nerds and how they basically how Lewis basically raped her.
Oh, 100% he did. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember thinking back then. I was like,
So yeah,
you could do that. I was like,
for real. Like they finished. It literally spawned an age of sexual offenders.
I can't wait to go to college, man.
For real, dude. And it
Adam's
didn't
college was
dawn
so
on me. It's
good.
like, I mean, yeah, it's a movie, but you get some weirdo in the back, like, hey, maybe I should do that with Sally back at the trailer park. But this movie, there wasn't no well, maybe when they dressed up like Indians and threw that chick over, and
Yeah, that
then
was kind of dicey too. I was like,
Ogre takes her to the back of
oh, a bunch of
the
Aztecs going
woods.
to Florida, bro. What the hell? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Or
Ogre was
mine,
getting him some.
whatever.
They fucking run up on Ogre getting him some pussy, and
Yeah.
he's instead
Hey,
of like finishing, he says, "No, wait for me here," and nerds and goes after the nerds. Like, bro, come on, nerds are getting some a chick that wants to do your goofy fucking cross-eyed fucking. I mean, let's be real. Ogre's kind of a like a dirt like an oversized booger. His
Some
hair is all
over
messed up. Takes a
kind of
yeah, it takes like a 30-minute piss. that whole scene where they're at the freaking the alphas
Oh,
chilling,
yeah,
and
when they were they're plotting
ogres
this scheme, yeah,
pissing the whole time, and Tiny's over there trying to make like some kind of weird joke where they're like, "The fuck are you talking about?"
because he was talking about tiny joint.
Yeah, tiny dick or some shit like that. Like, yeah, that's why they, it's an opposite thing. I'm big, so they call me tiny. I was like, nah, I don't think so, bro.
That way, bro.
Nah. What were some of the? Well, yeah, we talked about the other alphas. Uh, I thought all the alphas would have been the same color. I think like what, black and white, or black, navy blue and white stripe. These other alphas, they had like a yellow kind of like sweater or tones, unless it's to represent the college. I don't know.
I don't know. It was kind of the style back then too. They kind of that was kind of on brand with how they fucking those type of kids really look like that though.
And it was
So
kind of, and we talked a little bit about it. They're kind of messed up that they didn't have their backs the whole time they were there, and then not to the very end. Then they want to, get ready to fight with them and stuff. It's like, really, bro? Like, regardless if they're nerds, they're your fraternity brothers from another campus. Like,
yeah, those landers they no sold them. They say I don't know these cats. Nah,
they're they're like, hey, maybe these guys are about to win something. Like, let's have their backs. Um, the crazy thing is how they're able to realize how far they are from the island or from the Florida, because they basically, after they got out of jail, they were kidnapped and thrown off the side of the boat to
yeah,
stay
some
at a deserted island.
Cuban island or whatever.
And instead of making a boat, they find, which is pretty badass. They find the old, what was it, Colonel
Some
Cuban general's
freedom
stash of,
fighter or some shit. Yeah.
yeah,
And they just happen to have uniforms and for in a woman's size, because
yeah.
what's
Well,
her
she was like in a
yeah.
bra, but I
Um
mean, but
the Courtney chick.
Poindexter when the fuck did Poindexter find time to do his hair in the like, oh my god, and what were they, braids?
I don't know,
They're just
bro.
kind of like spidered out. I mean, he kind of come out looking like Coolio.
Nah, I don't know, bro. That was brutal. But yeah, so that was a nice convenient plot device. They happened to stumble upon the way to get back in time to atone for, to defend themselves because
Defend
they were
themselves.
facing permanent banning, due
That,
to
yeah,
ethics violations because they got set up.
yeah,
Rod set them up. And
fucking
oh
right.
yeah, yeah, and Ogre got tossed aside because he was like, man,
He
I'm
was
telling
gonna
everybody
snitch.
back.
He
And
was
they,
gonna
nah, man, you
snitch.
can't tell nobody. No,
I'm
motherfucker,
gonna
I'm
tell
telling
everybody. Yeah.
you. Yeah. So they
I was
they
like, man, throw this dumb motherfucker
80,
over.
they gave him 86 to him. That means permanent removal. You know what I'm
And
saying?
like he ran up on disco and was just like,
They called 86 the back reception and
oh shit. If
that ass
you
over the side.
reference, even reference anything that rhymes with blade and you're addicted to it,
Hey
you
man, I
you get
listen. You're gonna mess around and get banned. Just somebody's gonna clip this. You're gonna mess around and get banned.
Oh, he already banned my podcast profile. I don't even know if he thinks. I don't even think he knows both my personal and podcast Twitter follow him. But he banned the fucking podcast one just for making that comment.
You're gonna mess around and get this one banned too.
Well, but hey, Elon Musk is about to. Hey, he's about to revert all that shit. So who knows? I might show it back on his timeline.
That don't affect getting banned from the mailbag or anything like that. I was saying that'll
Yeah,
have nothing to do with Elon Musk. You know what I'm saying?
but yeah, man. So all in all, like this movie, I think if they would have ended it before they had that whole ceremony of Ogre joining Lambda Lambda,
Mm,
it would have been better. And like maybe leaving that as like, oh, what is it? What they call it? Deleted scene or an alternate ending?
yeah,
Because that ending was that was worse than shit.
I think if they would have ended it right before they started it, it definitely would have been better. 100%. You know, they would have said, "Wait, hold
Like
up."
they didn't even they didn't even throw the credits until they got to Fort Lauderdale.
But it made money. It made money. You know what I'm saying? It made
Oh yeah.
times its budget. So that's considered a success. And it shat out two more, even though they were made for TV, it shat out two more sequels. And Robert Carradine, so Robert Carradine was in all of them. Curtis
Yeah.
Armstrong was in all of them. Uh, Lamar was in all of them.
Okay. Point
Very,
Poindexter
yeah.
too, or no?
Poindexter said, "Fuck that." They had someone else play Poindexter um,
I
in the
think,
third one, but Timothy Busfield said, "I'm
yeah.
out."
At
You know,
this time, he's already done movies. He's already done Field of Dreams. He's already done other stuff. He's like, nah, I'm good.
and so, but then Stan and Betty were in 3 and 4. They had someone else play Wormser. They had someone else play Poindexter. I think they had someone else play Gilbert or something like that. But
Yeah, because he probably would have been.
Mr. Skolnick was in all of them as a little bit, you know. Now he was all. I always like seeing him on there because I like James Cromwell. I like that, so I popped every time I saw Mr. Skolnick
Oh,
because he
Lewis's
was
dad.
in out. Yeah, he got his
Yeah.
little zings in. Was out, collect the check, and I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
popped every time I saw him.
Speaking of people that was in The Longest Yard, he was the warden. He played the warden in the
Oh,
remake.
yeah, yeah.
So everything connects. Everything is 7 degrees to Kevin Bacon or whatever the fuck that's.
Yeah, 6 degrees Kevin Bacon or 7. Yeah.
So all in all, let's do this. Do you think they should make a remake of the sequel, or because like we said, or like a follow-up that's one of these movies that you know how they do it now, like Halloween, oh, it's a direct sequel to the first film. So should there be a timeline sequel, a different, oh, this whole that erases all three sequels and is a direct sequel to the first one that
No, because
has these nerds being
we
the
all
bullies now. Like the nerds are
well,
running, like we said,
they
are
kind of
running
did
shit.
that though with they kind of did that with 21 Jump Street. They kind of did that. If you remember, do you ever see the movie with Channing Tatum and
I've seen the
and,
movie.
and was it Jonah Hill?
Yeah. I've
And
seen the movie. I never really saw the TV show.
yeah, so the
But I
TV show was like really cool. It was, it was, young Johnny Depp, Holly Robinson, Peter DeLuise, whatever, and they were young,
Richard
cool.
Rico.
Richard Grieco as Booker. Yeah, that was the hot fire back in the day. I was like young, I was like 14, 15 when that came out. I love that show.
I only get that because of the Night at the Roxbury movie. I was like,
Yeah.
who's this Richard Rico guy? I was like, oh, he used to be on this show 21 Jump Street. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But the movie was kind of like a modern version of it, and instead of so the main characters in that, Channing Tatum was in high school, was the jock and the stud and the
Yeah,
popular kid who used to bully the nerd,
yeah.
and then so when they became undercover cops, he thought he was going to be the cool kid again, but Jonah Hill ended up being the cool kid because then by then the nerds had taken over. Again,
Yeah,
predicted by the
that's
original
right.
Revenge of the Nerds. You know what I'm saying? Callback.
Yeah,
So,
almost like how Billy Madison, when he went to do school, he was all trying to be cool, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? You're like 40."
yeah, but if they did a remake of this movie of the franchise, it would have to be the first one. But there's just no way it would be all snowflaked out. You'd have a multi. It just wouldn't be the same. There's just no way. So you might as well just put this in a museum and let us old folks remember. You know what I'm saying? And watch this. Admit that this shit happened and this is how it was.
Is it gonna be like
And
that museum in Demolition Man?
probably, yeah, we're heading there. I'm trying to figure out like which science fiction post apocalyptic. I can't even say the word. But which of these movies are like closest? I saw some kind of meme that had like a timeline of like all these different movies and shit, like Soylent Green and 1984 and all the. It was like we were like in between like the end of the world was Day After Tomorrow and like something else, whatever, like Idiocracy or some shit like
Huh.
that. So
Oh, okay,
it's
so like
crazy.
like this was a time like 20 like what was it? 2015 Back to the Future. It says 2000, and then the next one
Yeah,
is
so that movie was so all
yeah,
the science fiction movies all the way
yeah,
up to like Dune,
like where we're at specifically. Yeah.
yeah, where we are realistically in the timeline. So we were like
Ah,
somewhere after it had the movie 2012. So we were just after that. Day after we were like just after Day After Tomorrow and like right before Independence Day or something like that.
ah, that's crazy. Well,
But
all right, man. what else can we talk about this movie that hasn't already been said and poo-pooed on? Would you recommend this to somebody who's, let's say, who's never seen any Revenge of the Nerds as part of their movie
If you,
checklist?
I would say if you took our recommendation and saw the first one, and then like compared it, watch this one it's a PG-13 version, so you kind of already know it's going to lose some of its shock and all that the first one had. But if you liked it that much and just have a morbid curiosity, go ahead, go for it. But I'm warning you, I'm saying it's that blank emoji face. That's the review I would give it. I wouldn't give it no.
Uh,
I
you
I'm
want to
kind
see the
of to it
epilogue?
because a lot of time has passed over the years. So I'm kind of where I was this. I'm kind of like not all the way down, but it's not
Yeah.
as terrible. As far as terrible movie goes, it's not too terrible, but it's terrible.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same magic as the first one. And like you said, it's PG-13, so you don't see bare boobies. You see a wet t-shirt contest. That's as close as
T-shirt
you're
with
gonna get to.
nips. Yeah, that was a
Um,
nice little treat. I was wondering what gratuitous scene was going to show it, but that was
yeah.
a treat.
Uh, so that's so that's that wraps up this episode on Revenge of the Nerds 2. I want to thank CJ for joining me, and I appreciate you coming on here talking comedy. I appreciate you coming on here talking nerds, and I appreciate you reaching out to do another episode. And like I tell all my guests, just hit me up. Even if I don't reach out, I know I'm bad at that. I got to reach out to Everett and Tito and see if they want to jump on and have some time to talk movies or whatever.
Just follow me at CJ Tells Jokes either on Instagram or on Twitter. So I had taken down Love Life's comedy. I kind of taken down CJ Emmanuel's comedy because I was too scatterbrained and shit. So I got like 3 or 4 podcasts I was trying to do at the same time plus comedy. So I'm gonna end up probably just doing one podcast and just that'll cover everything. So just follow me at one of those at CJ Tells Jokes. Either way, just it's easy to remember. And any announcements, any updates that'll come there. So it's short and sweet and simple. Right now, I'm just at CJ Tells Jokes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, for sure. So y'all go follow him on y'all social media. And if you're in the San Antonio area and you want to enjoy some late night or nighttime comedy, get out and hang out.
Oh
And
yeah.
a lot of places that they serve drinks, snacks, food.
Drinks, food.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Go out there and enjoy it. Even if CJ's on or not on, just go out there and support your local comedians.
Oh, yeah, there's so many good comics out here. Yeah, I'm gonna go see
Yeah.
some of my friends perform
Yeah.
as soon as we wrap up here.
Remember, guys, if you ain't laughing, you ain't living. Take care of yourself and the people you love. Nanu nanu. Peace.
What's